In this video, we're going to be answering the age-old question, is louder better? Ask any P-plater out there and they'll tell you louder is always better. And most bikers are going to tell you the same thing. One of the complaints about the KLR is that it sounds like an ag bike, that it just doesn't sound tough. Another is that it's just simply too quiet and that louder pipes save lives. So today, that's what we're putting to the test. Hi there, my name is Ben, this is Adventure Bikes Australia, and if you love adventure biking, subscribe so you can stick around and catch all our content. To put both these claims to the test, today we're going to do a sound off between the factory exhaust and the Staintune exhaust. Now, quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. I paid full retail for these products and no third party has any say in this whatsoever. Now, of course, judgments of a motorcycle's exhaust tone are purely subjective. You may agree with me, you may completely disagree with me. Make sure you let me know in the comments below. With that said, let's listen to the differences. Now, I don't know about you, but that Staintune exhaust pipe sounds heaps tougher to me. Now, when it comes to assessing the volume of these exhaust pipes, there's a ton of different variables, the least of which is microphone sensitivity. So what I've done is I've got an app on my iPhone, and we're gonna get the different volumes of the different exhaust pipes that way. Another thing to point out is that the KLR is lacking a tacho, so I can't just stand here and rev it to the same point here in the shed. So we're going to do two tests. I'm going to do an idle test here in the shed, and then we're going to go out, we're going to do 2 runs at 80 kilometers an hour and get samples there. Now, the keen-eyed of you out there would have seen that the actual data from the app isn't that much difference between the Staintune and the standard, which leads me to believe that that app is garbage. So while I was thinking about how I was going to find another way to show you this, I was actually editing the video and this is what I found. As we run through these 2 different clips between the standard exhaust and the Staintune exhaust on the idle test in the bike shed, you can see that the actual volume gauge in my editor is extremely different between the two. You can see that the Staintune is far louder than the standard exhaust. When it comes to the highway run out on the Smith Street motorway, it's a different story again. I think that in both cases the wind noise was too high and blew out the microphone on the iPhone in both cases. And when we look at the volume bars in the editing suite, that completely backs that theory up. However, if we look at the waveform of the audio down at the bottom here, you can really see the difference between the standard exhaust and the Staintune exhaust. The standard exhaust, it is quite high in the waveforms, but you'll see that when we look at the Staintune waveforms, they're consistently a lot higher for a lot longer. But again, in both cases, the microphone was pretty much blown out, but it does prove that the Staintune is louder on the highway than the standard exhaust. Now let's jump back into this video. So there you have it, we've done 2 tests today. We've tested the bike with the standard exhaust on it and we tested it with the new Staintune. I think there's no arguments that it definitely sounds a lot tougher and it's quite a deal louder. Now, if you've enjoyed this video today, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who's maybe also thinking about doing a Staintune swap, and be sure to subscribe so you stay up to date with all our latest videos. In the comments below, let me know your opinions on this Staintune exhaust. Do you think it sounds tougher? Do you think it sounds louder? Would you put it on your bike? Let me know in the comments below. And that's all there is for today. So until next time, get out there and live an adventurous life.